Not that you haven't heard from me enough already today. Let me rise, Mr. Speaker, for the purposes of some introductions of special guests who are in the chamber. First of all, on behalf of Mrs. Robinson, I'm delighted to indicate that Ms. LaRae Brown is here. She has been recently appointed as President and CEO of the Interfaith Medical Center in Brooklyn. She comes with a wealth of experience, and we are delighted that she has taken time out of her busy schedule to join us and observe our deliberations. And if you'd please extend the warm cordiality of the House to Ms. Brown, I would be very grateful.
Certainly, on behalf of Ms. Robinson, the Speaker, and all the members, we welcome you here to the New York State Assembly. We extend to you the privileges of the floor, and we hope that you have enjoyed what I think was a very interesting debate on a very critical issue. So you've blessed us, and we hopefully have blessed you. Thank you so much. Mr. Morelli.
Yes, sir. I also like to acknowledge some guests of Ms. Simon who are here. As members will note, we had an important resolution passed earlier on dyslexia, and we want to thank Ms. Simon for her leadership. And she has some guests who are joined us in the chamber today, and I just want to take a moment to acknowledge these wonderful people. Deborah Raftery, who comes from Wilton, New York, who's very involved in this issue, as well as Pitara Jeppe from Bed-Stuy in Brooklyn, who is here and is also a member of this organization. And finally, as I indicated earlier, we always like to acknowledge members of family of those who serve, and Barbara Lynch is here. Mrs. Lynch is Ms. Simon's sister. And so she is here today, and all of them, as I said, we're here to observe the resolution that we passed earlier and our proceedings, and we're delighted to have them. If you would please, on behalf of Ms. Simon, extend all the cordialities of the House.
Certainly, on behalf of Ms. Simon, the Speaker, and all the members, we commend you, extraordinary ladies, for your visit here. We extend to you the privileges of the floor and hope you have enjoyed today's debate and the issues that we have tackled today. Thank you, and you are always welcome. Thank you very much. Mr. Morelli.
And yes, sir, it's no surprise that Mr. Santa Barbara has a guest in the chamber. I think he wins the award for most introductions during a legislative session, perhaps because of his proximity of his district, which we're delighted. But we are very excited that he has Mr. Gene Leparco in the chamber. He is an officer of the American Italian Heritage Association and Museum located here in Albany. And he was joined earlier, unfortunately, Professor Philip DeNovo, who is the CEO and president of that organization, was not able to stay, but we do want to acknowledge his leadership as well as Mr. Leparco and thank them for being here and extend all the cordialities of the House on behalf of Mr. Santa Barbara and all the members.
Certainly, on behalf of Mr. Santa Barbara, who has clearly won that title this year, we welcome you, sir, here to the New York State Assembly. We commend to you the privileges of the floor and hope that you have enjoyed the debate as it has proceeded. And we know you took some great pictures, so we'll always like to see those. Thank you so much. Welcome. Mr. Morelli.
Yes, sir. If we could now turn our attention to page 4 of the main calendar and take up Rules Report number 3 by Ms. Rosenthal.
Clerk will read.
Assembly 7555, Rules Report number 3. Ms. Rosenthal, an act to amend the tax law.
Read the last section.
This act shall take effect immediately.
Ms. Rosenthal on the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Every 11 or 12-year-old girl knows that inevitably it will happen. She will begin to menstruate and will continue to do so, barring any unforeseen medical issues, for the next 40 years or so. Every month for anywhere from 5 to 10 days, these young girls and then young women and women will rely on tampons or sanitary napkins and so that they will be able to continue to attend school, work, or participate in normal everyday activities. Let's be clear, feminine hygiene products are not luxury items, though they are taxed that way in New York State. No woman feels like she's pampering herself or indulging in a guilty pleasure when she steps into the dark recesses of a drugstore, where feminine hygiene products are often hidden, to purchase a box of tampons. Tampons are a necessity. This much is evidenced by the fact that women in other countries who do not have the privilege of ready access to them are forced to stay home from school and work during their menstruation period. In the absence of access to tampons and napkins, women are falling behind their male counterparts in education, simply as a result of their biology. This is the true definition of necessity. Here in the U.S., we are lucky to have easy access to feminine hygiene products. Women do not generally miss school or work, but New York State, along with 40 other states, currently taxes tampons and pads because they are not used to treat, quote, a specific medical condition. For context, the state opts to exempt condoms, dandruff shampoos, and fruit roll-ups. Somehow tampons are not worthy of that distinction, despite the fact that approximately 10.1 million women of childbearing age currently rely on these products to stem the monthly flow of menstrual blood and enable them to participate fully in everyday lives while they have their periods. If you happen to live in one of the 5 states that either exempt feminine hygiene products from sales tax, like Minnesota, Pennsylvania, Maryland, New Jersey, and Massachusetts, or the 5 that have no state sales tax at all, like Montana, Oregon, Arkansas, New Hampshire, and Delaware, consider yourself lucky. These states have recognized what we in New York are now understanding, that a tax on tampons is a regressive tax on women and their biology. The conversation is not limited to the U.S. Recently, Canada became the first country to exempt feminine hygiene products from sales tax, and debates on the issue are occurring in Australia and the United Kingdom. Even President Obama recently expressed surprise when he heard that most states tax tampons and sanitary products, and he encouraged women to band together to fight to repeal it. New York's tax laws and those of many other states harken back to a time when little was understood about women's biology, and the laws were written almost exclusively by men for and about women. The small amount of revenue this tax generates cannot be used to justify a surcharge or luxury tax levied on the backs of half of New York's population who have little choice in the matter but to pay it. That's not to mention the real burden this tax has on low-income women. The vast majority of average women purchase at least 1 box of tampons or sanitary napkins each month. The products range in price just like everything else, with the state average hovering somewhere near $8. For low-income women, mothers, wives, who are making difficult decisions each and every month about whether to pay for rent or buy groceries, eliminating the tax on feminine hygiene products will represent a real tangible relief for them. New York has led the way nationally toward achieving true gender equality, and axing the tampon tax helps to continue in our long tradition as a state. And because women already do not earn the same amount on the dollar compared to men, in fact, in New York State, 87 cents on the dollar, women are essentially being double taxed on our biology. We have a responsibility to right this wrong, and I hope that all of you will stand with me as we axe the tax here in New York today. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rosenthal. Ms. Peoples-Stokes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise just to mention a few facts that I think have been left out of the discussion today. While I do think this discussion is worthy, and not to minimize it at all, but I will tell you that there are an awful lot of issues that are 100% more important to women of color and women of low income than the taxes that they may or may not have to pay on the monthly product that they use. And if I could mention a few of them, one of them is disparate health care, which quite frankly makes them sometimes sicker and sometimes needing these products more often. We need to talk about that. Sometimes it's also the issue that they can't get a job to even be able to pay for these products. They get discriminated when they go for a job. People look at their last name and their zip code before they even know if they can get an interview. We need to talk about that. I think that there are many, many, much more important issues that reference women of color and particularly women of low income that have not been discussed in this House. And so I think if we're going to get together and have discussions about women's issues as they relate to low income and women of color, then we need to talk about it before we come out on the floor and start. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Ms. Peoples-Stokes. Read the last section.
This act shall take effect immediately.
Clerk will record the vote. Yeah, right. Are there any other votes? Announce the results.
Ayes 127, noes 0.
The bill is passed. Mr. Morelli.
Yes, sir. If we could go to page 57 of the main calendar and take up calendar number 446 by Mr. Dendecker.
Clerk will read.
Senate 6422A, calendar number 446. Mr. Dendecker, an act to amend vehicle and traffic law.
Read the last section.
This act shall take effect immediately.
Clerk will record the vote. Are there any other votes? Announce the results.
Ayes 127, noes 0.
The bill is passed. Mr. Morelli.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Do you have any resolutions to take up, sir?
We certainly do, Mr. Morelli. We have numerous fine resolutions. We will take them up in one vote. On the resolutions, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The resolutions are adopted. Mr. Morelli.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members should be aware that the General Budget Conference Committee will be meeting this evening at 5:30 p.m. in Hearing Room B of the Legislative Office Building. Members of the General Budget Conference Committee. There will be a series of subcommittee meetings tomorrow, and a schedule will be produced as we finalize that, so members who expect to serve on those subcommittees should pay special attention to announcements. I'll make announcements probably tomorrow as well as we get underway tomorrow. So with that, Mr. Speaker, could you please call on Ms. Schimmel for the purposes of an announcement?
Ms. Schimmel, for the purposes of an announcement.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, there will be a majority conference in the Speaker's conference room at the close of session. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Majority conference, Speaker's conference room at the close of session. Mr. Morelli.
Mr. Speaker, I now move that the Assembly stand adjourned until 10 a.m. Wednesday, March 16th, tomorrow being a session day.
The Assembly will stand adjourned.